next on 7 News at 5:30.
A teenage murder suspect heads to court charged with killing an honor student over a leather coat.
They call it sabotage, a possible break in the case of a deadly Amtrak derailment. We'll have the latest.
And a dose of double trouble is on the way as Mother Nature prepares to pack a 1-2 punch. 7 News at 5:30 is right now.
Broadcasting live from Channel 7, New England's news station. Lester Strong and Kathy Marshall bring you 7 News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Lester Strong.
And I'm Kathy Marshall. Police say he's confessed to murder. Anthony Robinson is charged with killing honor student Barrington Nevins for his leather jacket. After skipping town following the murder, today Robinson faced a judge. 7 News reporter Mike Macklin has our top story.
He was arrested in Virginia on Monday after his aunt there arranged for him to surrender. 17-year-old Anthony Robinson was back in Dorchester District Court this afternoon to become the second suspect arraigned in connection with the murder of Barrington Nevins.
3 counts of armed assault with intent to murder.
Nevins was gunned down in Dorchester the Friday after Thanksgiving. Police say 3 armed teenagers robbed Nevins and 2 friends of their jackets and sneakers.
One of the robbers, who was carrying a .22 caliber rifle, fired a single shot into the chest of Barrington Nevins.
Investigators charge it was Robinson who fired that fatal shot, and they say he admitted as much when taken into custody in Virginia.
And at that time, it admitted to participating in the robbery of Barrington Nevins and his friends, and admitted to firing a .22 caliber rifle at Barrington Nevins, striking him in the chest.
I don't believe that he did it.
But he apparently says he was involved when he was arrested down in Virginia.
I don't believe he did it.
The suspect's mother cried as she left her son's arraignment. Defense attorney Randy Joya dismissed his client's reported admission of involvement in the murder.
Well, all I can tell you at this point is I've got a 17-year-old client who's just terrified, and he's pled not guilty. We'll take it from there, and he's presumed to be innocent at this point.
Anthony Robinson is the second suspect arrested in less than a week in connection with the murder of Barrington Nevins. Witnesses to the murder say there was a third gunman, but so far police have not identified him. In Dorchester, Mike Macklin, 7 News.
Updating the top stories we brought you first at 5, relief for the victims of a devastating mill fire in Methuen. Workers lined up today for their final paychecks before the holidays. They may be their last paychecks for a while. Their jobs went up in smoke on Monday. Families who were evacuated were allowed back to their homes today, but only to pick up essentials. Experts are still worried about possible toxic fumes in the area. Tonight, crews are still on the scene fighting some hot spots. Coming up on 7 News at 6, more on relief efforts for victims of the mill fire, plus Cardinal Law offers spiritual help.
Grab your shovel. We are in for more snow. This storm system that blanketed Chicago and other parts of the Midwest is now heading our way, and it could make a mess of tomorrow afternoon's commute. Let's check in with 7 News Chief Meteorologist Harvey Leonard for some details.
Once again, it's not going to be a blockbuster, but it's going to be enough to shovel, in some cases enough to plow, and enough to make the roads pretty tough in many cases, especially tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. Cold air is in place, warm air is to the south. It's running up and over the cold air. That produces the snow. Here's the strip right in here across much of Ohio that's going to come shooting across our area beginning later tomorrow morning and continuing into tomorrow evening. And even though there'll be an eventual change to some ice or icy type of rain later tomorrow night, several inches of snow will have accumulated in almost all areas before that ever happens.
Harvey, thank you. We'll be checking back for the full forecast in about 10 minutes.
A DSS controversy tonight. Federal officials may want to take control of the Bay State's Department of Social Services. They say they're alarmed by the number of children who have died in foster care this year. 7 News reporter Darlene McCarthy has that story.
The files of the Department of Social Services filled with faces like these. Children from torn homes, children who actually died while in foster care. And just this week, DSS was forced to take this Cape Cod child away from her mother, a woman with a sad history of substance abuse.
Substance abuse has changed the face of child welfare. About 70% of the families we're involved in have substance abuse problems. And crack in particular has really changed the way we have to operate because of the level of violence.
One federal official outraged by these cases says maybe the federal government should start running DSS.
They are horrendous cases involving the most tragic kinds of family circumstances, and I think it's fairly clear that we need to work closely with the state to help them.
The governor says the real problem here is money, or the lack of it. So what he intends to do is to lobby the legislature for more, so that more social workers can be hired and more children can be saved. That is his mission.
I've talked to Senator Murray and others about possibly a major infusion of funds for the agency, perhaps even in the neighborhood of $40–50 million. As you say, these are the most troubled cases in the entire Commonwealth, and to have one person, a federal judge, try and micromanage all that, I think would be a recipe for disaster.
In truth, Phil Johnston and Governor Weld are actually not that far apart on the DSS crisis. They both agree that the agency is overwhelmed, and they both agree that more money would help. Now, the race is on to see who comes through first. In the newsroom, Darlene McCarthy, 7 News.
There is another arrest tonight in the state's battle with deadbeat parents. Thomas Brancato, a former Danvers resident, was brought to Boston this afternoon. Brancato allegedly owes $95,000 in back child support. State investigators tracked him to an address in Grosse Pointe, Michigan. Brancato is due in court tomorrow.
Topping national news, a possible break tonight in the deadly sabotage of an Amtrak train in Arizona. Federal agents searched the mountain home of a railroad contractor near Los Angeles today. They carried out brown paper bags and checked for explosives. They won't say why they searched the home. In October, a crowded Amtrak train derailed, killing one person and injuring dozens more. Investigators have ruled the crash sabotage.
The sky is beginning to clear in the west, where storms have killed at least 5 people. Nearly 2 feet of rain fell in just 12 hours in parts of Oregon and California yesterday. Wind gusts reached 120 miles per hour, knocking down trees and power lines. Hundreds of thousands of homes still don't have electricity.
There's reason to celebrate on Wall Street tonight. The stock market breaks another record. The Dow Jones Industrial Average gained more than 40 points today, closing at 5216. It's the first time the Dow has closed above 5,200.
Coming up at 6, a Raynham man in court charged with killing his girlfriend's baby. Reaction from the baby's family.
Major medical news for stroke patients. Doctors find a new way to help them recover.
A unique teaching method putting preschoolers and high schoolers in the same class.
And Emma Thompson talks with Sarah Edwards about her new movie, Sense and Sensibility, and co-star Hugh Grant.
Merry Christmas.
Grandma, look at the tree.
Isn't it nice to know you can always count on the LL Bean catalog to have the perfect Christmas gift for everyone on your list?
While visions of sugar plums dance.
Best of all, it's probably in your house right now. The LL Bean Christmas catalog. There. Wasn't that easy?
Just because she's my daughter, and I want to make her pain go away. Just because I know that she has to work things out for herself, her way. But I still need to let her know that no matter what's going on in her life, I'm always there for her. So I call her. Just because sometimes that's all I can do.
Suzanne Rainey has a gift. If you weren't born with a gift, don't worry. You can still pick one up for the holidays.
Start spreading the news.
Like Sinatra 80th, live in concert. His first live album in over 20 years.
Strangers in the night.
So remember, if you don't have a gift, don't worry. Capitol Records has plenty of them.
Got your eye on Power Rangers action figures? Got a coupon? Oops! Shop Walmart for your kids, where you always save on toys. With coupons, you save sometimes. With Walmart, always. Got your eye on Play School's musical dream screen? Got a coupon? Shop Walmart for your kids, where you always save on toys. With coupons, you save sometimes. With Walmart, always.
Try to picture this, a school where you'll find 4-year-olds and teenagers in the same classroom.
The concept is catching on. In tonight's 7 Education Report, we see how the preschoolers are getting a higher education. At this Longwood, Florida high school, some students head for calculus and physics, while others arrive for preschool and play. The 4-year-olds are part of a state-funded program to get children from low-income families ready for school.
All the statistics show that they quit school. And what we want to do is make them feel good about school, but good about themselves, where they can have fun.
Teachers say just being where the big kids go helps the preschoolers feel good about school. Quickly, parents' reservations disappear.
Within a couple weeks, his self-esteem is up there. He, instead of saying, I can't, he tries. I see a big improvement with it.
But the little buddies, as they're called, are not the only ones to benefit.
What is that?
Elephant.
Elephant, wow.
High school students in a child development class spend 2 hours a day with the children and receive a certificate that can help them get a job in daycare. Some want to become child psychologists and nurses.
It just gives me a great sense of feeling that I'm helping them do something, learn something.
The advice to other districts considering a preschool?
I'd tell them I felt it would be one of the best things they could do to provide the practical experience, the real-world experience for their own high school kids, plus to get the students out into the real world.
Besides, the high schoolers say having the little ones around is fun. The preschoolers are from low-income families and they're considered at risk. Studies show every dollar spent on the children now saves up to $7 in later years.
What a merger, but what does it mean? Reaction to a major bank deal here in the Bay State.
Preparing for the big one, and not in California, earthquake warnings here in New England.
For 4 days, we've had a lot of sunshine, but look what's going on across the rest of the country. We're going to share in some of that inclement weather very soon.
And another milestone for a BU goalie who nearly lost his life in an accident. That story a little later in sports.
Manhattan, America's most famous name in fashion. Smart looks at smarter prices. Manhattan, the brand of quality and value.
Joe Miller's a little excited because Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only, it's Circuit City's 3-day sale. And Joe Miller's the guy with the sale tags. Save on home and car audio. Save on the best computers, too. Save on top brand appliances. And get no interest and no payments till '97 on select big screen TVs. And no interest for 6 months on all audio, video, DSS, and appliances. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only, get the biggest savings of the season on big screen TVs, camcorders, car stereos, and more. It's Circuit City's 3-day sale.
So long, twist ties. Now there's new Glad trash bags with quick tie flaps. So easy to close, so hassle-free, they've turned twist ties into trash. Try Glad trash bags with new quick tie flaps. Ties are out. Flaps are in.
I'm John Marler. Next on 7 News. Frostbite. It's painful and dangerous. Lester Strong tells you how to avoid getting bitten by frostbite. That's coming up.
In a world of mergers...
I just don't feel like buying any more networks. There's never anything good on.
...and corporate takeovers...
You ever heard me referred to as the world's only living heart donor?
The ultimate player...
You are not exactly what people say you are.
...is about to meet his match.
Hi.
Harrison Ford, Julia Ormond.
You convinced me that there were some things missing in my life.
Like what?
Like a life.
Sabrina, rated PG. Starts Friday, December 15th at theaters everywhere.
Smoked it.
Buy your golf gifts from the experts golfers love.
Nevada Bob's has everything.
They have the best prices, the best product.
The best I've ever seen are at Nevada Bob's. It's just a great place to shop.
For can't-miss golf gifts, call 1-800-LOVE-ACES.
7 News is brought to you in part by the only store with a revolutionary new Advantage card.
Time for New England's current weather conditions and forecast with Harvey Leonard. This is 7 Weather.
Admittedly, it's very cold out there, but if you do spend a few minutes outside tonight and bundle up, you might get a chance to see something if you wait from bright lights and look toward the eastern sky, about halfway up the horizon. That's the Geminid meteor shower, which peaks tonight between about 8 o'clock and midnight. After that, the moon gets in the way. If you're lucky and in an ideal spot, you could see as many as 15 or more per hour. One of the ways we find out about this, of course, is our own Todd Gross, who's an incredible astronomy buff, aside from being the crackerjack meteorologist he is. In terms of meteorology, though, we're all focused on what's going to be an incredible couple of days coming up. We've had the cold entrenched here for about 4 days, and now some storminess is on the way, and that clash is going to make for some pretty interesting things around here. Temperatures are in the 20s from Boston to the Cape, already teens to the north and west. The first part of this night will be clear and very cold again. Here's the high-pressure area and the pocket of clear skies. Notice the clouds are not that far away, and once high-level winds switch a little bit, the clouds will come in, but most of that won't happen until after midnight. Then once that happens, we await the snow that will come in, and that's going to come in from the Ohio Valley, now approaching western New York and western Pennsylvania. It's this concentrated area right here that should arrive here basically later tomorrow morning, pretty much sparing most of us the morning commute, thank goodness. But by the evening commute, there'll already be accumulating snow on the ground and snow falling at a steady pace. So driving conditions should deteriorate quite quickly midday and tomorrow afternoon, so be aware of that if you do have to be out on the roads at that particular time. What's causing all of this? Well, we have a great contrast in temperature from the frigid air across the northeast through the upper Midwest and south central Canada, and a little bit of a storm developing on this boundary separating the warm from the cold. As that storm plows its way into the cold air, snow is breaking out, and that'll stretch its way into our area again after the morning commute tomorrow, and then steady snows during the afternoon. But look, there's a second storm here as well. So from late tomorrow morning through tomorrow evening, we get steady snow. It may end as rain down around the Cape, but probably some crusty rain or drizzle here in the local Boston area, especially points to the north. Then we'll be in between storms for a little while on Friday, maybe a touch of drizzle or freezing drizzle. But this one moving straight east, it looks like this ice band could cross much of our area before possibly an end as snow early Saturday from the second storm. Wow, do we have a lot that's going to happen in the next few days. Here's the forecast for tonight. Clear, except turning cloudy after midnight. Very cold. Temperature about 17 in Boston. Much colder to the north. A light northerly wind. Tomorrow, it will thicken up. The clouds will very early, and snow should arrive before noon. 1 to 3 inches likely to be on the ground for the evening commute. Only in the upper teens in the northern Worcester Hills up north tomorrow afternoon. Low 30s down on the Cape. Boston struggling toward freezing during the evening. Snow early tomorrow night, then a change or end as ice in most areas, except ending as rain on the South Shore on the Cape. 18 to 33 steady temperatures, and the winds are likely to go back to the north on Friday. So even though the air is warmed up above, it won't get too warm in the ground. A little touch of freezing drizzle possible in the morning, and then steadier precipitation as freezing rain and or sleet likely to return Friday afternoon. And there is a chance on Friday night or early Saturday before that storm is through with us that it may change to snow over a good chunk of our area, with cold weather to follow thereafter. So there's a lot to follow. We'll be back again, of course, at 6.
Harvey, thank you. In London, a sleigh full of British Santas is learning to ho, ho, ho the American way. A British Santa school has brought in one of America's finest Santas. He'll be tutoring the St. Nick's in training. Dasher and Dancer were even flown in from Scotland to help the British Santas get into the holiday spirit.
And now, complete New England sports coverage with Gene LaVengie. This is 7 Sports.
When the New England Patriots travel to Pittsburgh for a Saturday contest against the Steelers this weekend, it will mark a homecoming of sorts for rookie Curtis Martin. The former Pitt Panther star, however, is trying to downplay the event.
It's another game. You know, it's just a game that we have to go and we have to do the same thing we did last game, you know, execute and, you know, just play well. You know, I'm not looking at this as anything out of the ordinary or anything. You know, I just want to go home, you know, just play a good game, you know, have a good game and hopefully win the game.
Well, it's back to work for the Bruins tonight, facing the Rangers in New York. Blaine Locker is back with the team and expected to be in net in Gotham tonight. Another huge milestone for BU goalie J.P. McCursey. For the first time since an accident that almost took his life, McCursey made his first start in the Terrier net. Against Dartmouth in Hanover, New Hampshire last night, J.P. made his first start since March of 1994. McCursey was perfect in his one period of play, stopping all 5 shots he faced. BU went on to win the game 8-3. J.P. did not get the win, but clearly last night was one of the biggest moments of his life.
Being out there on the blue line, hearing my name called, hearing from Madison, Wisconsin, J.P. McCursey, And just being on the blue line, listening to the national anthem was the best feeling I felt in over 2 years. I won't be satisfied till I get a full 60 minutes, you know. Because it felt great being out there for 20 minutes and just, I didn't want the feeling to end how I felt out there. If you got goals and you're determined enough, you can definitely do it. You just got to keep the faith and believe in yourself, and you'll be able to do anything. I mean, because people have said, hey, you can do anything. You've made it this far, you can do anything you want. Just if you got the goals and got the right set frame of mind, you can do anything you want.
Great story. Congratulations, JP. UMass center Marcus Camby feeling no ill effects of a groin pull he suffered in last night's win over UNC Wilmington. The All-American had 6 points, 4 assists, and 3 blocks in the first half, but he spent the entire second half on the bench. Coach John Calipari saying Camby could have played if needed, but with a game in hand, he opted to rest the star center. UMass won the game 77-51. Both the Steelers and Patriots have something on the line in Saturday's game, plus the Celtics go for the 500 mark. More on those stories ahead at 6. We'll see you then.
Coming up in HealthCast, how to get the sting out of frostbite.
And Sarah Edwards talks to Oscar winner Emma Thompson about her new film. Critics say it could win Best Picture of the Year.
7 News is on the internet, and we want you to join us at www.whdh.com.
Okay, everybody, 30 minutes till the party starts. No time, gotta make the party platter. Julie, the dog's got the cheese ball.
My green jacket, okay?
No, it makes you look like a pine tree.
Mom! Need some help with your party platters? Shop at Star Market. We've got great tasting party platters and everything else you need for the holidays. Star Market. Smart idea, huh?
Night, Mom.
There's bound to be a few things that go wrong this holiday season, but at least your shopping won't be one of them. Happy holidays from the Pheasant Lane Mall.
This just in, the Optical Factory, Boston's price value leader, is opening 2 new locations. We have a report. Kelly?
That's right, Bill. I'm reporting from the new optical factories in Dedham and Framingham, and the values are terrific. For a limited time, single vision and bifocals the same low price. 2 pairs, $59.95, including exam. 2 pairs of bifocals, just $59.95. The Optical Factory does it again.
There you have it, the Optical Factory, now with 6 great locations in Greater Boston. You can't beat the Optical Factory. Go ahead, compare.
Progresso reinvents chicken soup? Introducing Progresso white meat chicken soups. Made with only tender, luscious white meat. Only 100% seasoned white meat for an enticing flavor that gives each and every Progresso chicken recipe its own distinctive taste. New Progresso white meat chicken soups, unveiling a whole new way to enjoy chicken soup that's totally delicious. Totally Progresso.
Yes, wait a minute, I'm coming.
Not in time. Press star 69 and get back that call you missed.
Hi, it's Ann. You called?
Call return, 50 cents per use plus cost of call.
Nah, I was just washing. George.
Not in time. Press star 69. Call return from 9X.
Oscar winner Emma Thompson wore 2 hats on her latest film, Sense and Sensibility. She was both screenwriter and star. Critics are already predicting lots of Oscar nominations for this Renaissance woman. I spoke with Thompson about her labor of love.
Eleanor, where is your heart?
The film's producers searched 10 years to find the best person to adapt Jane Austen's classic novel, Sense and Sensibility. They wanted someone witty, emotional, familiar with English history, and they couldn't think of anyone more fitting than British actress Emma Thompson. A huge fan of Austen's books, she wrote the screenplay based on the story of 2 sisters left in poverty after their wealthy father died. According to 18th century society, the estate must be left to a son. Marriage was their only hope.
Do you love him?
I do not attempt to deny that I think very highly of him, that I greatly esteem him.
But these sisters do fall in love. Thompson's character Eleanor falls for Edward, played by Hugh Grant.
I won't be working with the author ever again. No, it's a nightmare. You know, if you get one word wrong, she jumps right in.
If you spend 5 years writing something, you become very protective.
You originally weren't even going to act in this, were you?
I was a bit unsure about being in something that I'd written as well. I thought I'd go funny, you know, and kind of want to rewrite things in the middle of trying to act them and not be able to wear those two hats. But actually, I enjoyed it so much more because I had so much more invested in it.
Mr. Willoughby can be in no doubt of your enthusiasm for him. Why should he doubt it? Why should I hide my regard?
We may be wearing different costumes, but the human characteristics portrayed are absolutely timeless.
Sense and Sensibility opened today. It is one of my favorite films of the year and will surely get nominated for Best Picture. It's a masterpiece with humor, romance, and wonderful performances from Hugh Grant and Emma Thompson. I'll have more on this tomorrow morning at 7:30 on Magic 106.7. For 7 News, I'm Sarah Edwards.
Sarah, pretty high praise for that. Is there another movie that you might compare with it?
There's another one coming out called Restoration, which is another period piece starring Robert Downey Jr. that is also good. I think Apollo 13 is going to win, actually, Best Picture this year, but Sense and Sensibility will be nominated. I guarantee it.
All right, the early word from Sarah.
There you go.
You have it. That will do it for 7 News at 5:30. I'm Kathy Marshall.
And I'm Lester Strong. 7 News at 6 is next.
Mill workers find financial relief after an inferno destroys their livelihood. We're live in Methuen. The father of a murdered baby breaks down in court as the suspect is charged. Is a major earthquake heading our way? And are Bay State emergency agencies ready? A report you won't want to miss. And a major medical breakthrough to help stroke patients. 7 News at 6 with Kim Kerrigan and John Marler is next.